Josh is one of our founding members and one of our long-term staff members. And he went viral on TikTok. And when I say viral, I mean like legit viral. Betty has Alzheimer's disease, and so Josh, using his technical abilities, was filming Betty one day. She was talking to a stranger. The stranger in the mirror, however, was Betty. And so Josh and Bob, Betty's husband, they were introducing Betty to the stranger in the mirror as Betty. And Betty, in just this sweetness that has characterized her whole life, like reaches out and touches the stranger in the mirror, not knowing that it is her, and shows love and kindness. And so last year on Christmas Eve, we talked about that. We're like, that's what we can do, right? Reach out to strangers and show love and kindness. Josh's video was viral a year ago, and the odd irony of it is that about 8 weeks ago, the story came out again. The video regained tons of popularity, and people that were over the Alzheimer's Association for like Our Nation, CNN, all these news stations, the Charlotte Observer, they were interviewing and running clips of the Pettit family. In fact, they showed, the Charlotte Observer actually linked to our Christmas Eve video. It's probably the most views one of our worship services will ever get, but we were in the multiple hundreds. It was pretty cool. But it was pretty cool because of the message that was conveyed. And you know where that message came from? It came from Betty and from Josh and from Bob in their autobiographies. And if you were to ever ask them, hey, do you think you're going to like write this autobiography that's going to stick around and be forever characterized and kept? They would have said no. In fact, after our online service, Josh said, you know, I never thought about it that way, but like it really has made a difference in the Alzheimer's community. I'm like, absolutely, it has. I want to show you one of the clips from one of the interviews that the Pettits gave. Take a look.
Well, new tonight, one Mooresville family is documenting life with Alzheimer's, inspiring others and teaching about the disease.
Joshua Pettit has been taking care of his mother, Betty, for 9 years and has surpassed 250,000 followers on his TikTok account.
And Queen City News Northeast Bureau Chief Sydney Heiberger tonight introduces us to the Pettit family.
She covers well when she doesn't remember things. Right?
Right.
See?
Through Betty Pettit's journey with Alzheimer's, there's been laughs.
Oh, are you me too?
And times that are much more heartbreaking.
Did you know you're married to him?
Did you know that?
I did, yeah.
But through it all, Joshua Pettit has documented his mom's journey with the disease.
Ouch.
Hold on. Don't let him bite you.
Inspiring more than 250,000 people across the world.
We suddenly realized that we were shining a light on this disease that a lot of people were not necessarily familiar with or didn't really understand what that looked like.
Joshua says the fame has given Betty a nice distraction.
You don't want a new husband now that you're famous, do you?
No.
No. You keep him?
No, I want to keep him.
Yeah, good.
Not to mention the gifts they receive from their fans.
Recently, there was a video of her wanting a cookie for breakfast, and I wouldn't give her a cookie for breakfast. And that created like an internet outcry of people sending her cookies.
Look at all the cookies.
It's not an easy life, but it's one with renewed purpose, taking the world along for the ride.
We struggled with this and didn't know, are we doing a good job, or how are we dealing with this? And then people saying, wow, you guys are handling this great, or whatever. We looked at each other and said, maybe we are doing a good job with this.
Well, she's mad at me because I sold her car.
Right.
You sold the car?
Sydney Heiberger.
If that's the case, you're in big trouble.
Oh.
Queen City News.
Big trouble.
So the cookie thing has gone so viral that Crumble Cookies sent the Pettit all kinds of memorabilia and stuff. Last Friday, Josh and Bob and Betty went to see their neurologist in Charlotte. And the doctor said, look, like, there's not really anything that I can do to help the patients. Like, it is a disease and such that there's just not anything that medicine can do except to maybe prolong the inevitable. But I want you to know that you all have changed the way that I do medicine. How cool is that? That they have this like neurologist saying, hey, you have made a difference to me, and now I doctor differently because of you. Because like their story and the ways that they have tried to intervene with Betty and some of the ways that they've cared for her, this doctor now recommends those ways to other patients. Things like taking Betty for manicures so that her nails are in such a way that she does not bring harm to herself. Lots of ways like that. The neurologist said, you have taught me and humbled me. Thank you. When Betty was diagnosed with Alzheimer's many years ago, her words to me and Josh and Bob were, I just don't want to be a burden to my family. Standing in her living room, she's like, this is not what I want. I just don't want to be a burden. If she had known then, like what kind of impact she would have now, she would have never believed it. We all have that same chance every day, every minute, every opportunity to make an impact. By the way that we live and the way that we love, that's like Jesus. So if anybody ever tries to tell you that Jesus was something different than that, don't listen. The original gospel, the original Jesus was good news for all people, great joy, always, eternally. And that is why we're here this evening on Christmas Eve.